Welcome, my name is Darragh Delaney. I'm Head of Technical Services here at NetFort. In this video we're going to take a look at how the BBSRC used the NetFort LAN Guardian. Now the BBSRC are a bioscience research and training institute located in the UK. So what were they looking for? Well, these were the main business requirements. They needed something to enable them to effectively manage their ISP connection. They also needed something to meet the organization's responsibilities for network security, so they were able to identify threats and vulnerabilities. They needed an application that allowed them to investigate incidents, both technical and security. And they needed reporting on utilization and traffic characteristics. From a technical point of view, the solution had to have the ability to collect network traffic data from various locations, had to be able to perform security-related investigations, and they needed to take a look at things like network performance, network troubleshooting, and capacity planning. Other technical requirements they had was the solution needed to do packet inspection, because to get that type of information for security and for investigations, they needed that data that packet inspection provides, so that they could report on things like trends, unusual traffic patterns, IP reports, protocol reports. And another interesting one is that not only did they need to look at live data, but they need to also look at historic data. So BBSRC picked LAN Guardian because it does have a deep packet inspection engine. And use cases for deep packet inspection include network optimization, flow inspection, content-based application recognition, and security and application monitoring. So from one tool, they were able to use all of these separate features. So in summary, LAN Guardian is a network and user activity tool which captures data via sensors and performs deep packet inspection. And you've got a number of options. You've got local sensor ports, and you've got remote sensors if you've got networks, separate data centers in different parts of the world. And it can also take in net flow from routers. So when it came to some of the issues that the guys in BBSRC investigated with LAN Guardian, it included things like individual users generating large volumes of traffic in short periods, or even over longer periods, unusual traffic patterns, maybe strange problems with traffic routing, traffic appear in different networks that should not appear, and also promiscuous incoming traffic, so suspicious traffic that might be coming inbound through the firewalls. So let's take a look at some of these examples using a LAN Guardian. So I'm not going to a LAN Guardian here, so let's take a look at who are the top users on the network. So to do it, in the report finder, we just type in user, select top users here. A couple of options. We can change the time to maybe something in the last hour, or we could extend this. Maybe you want to look back in time for more long-term analysis. Go and leave it on the last 24 hours, run the report. So you've now got a list of users, how much data the sent received, the total, and also the option to drill down. So if you want to find out more, Window here has been on copied files over Microsoft directory services here. Drill down further, and you can see what service, the finance server. You can even find out what files that user has been accessing on that server. We could do something to take a look at maybe unusual traffic patterns. So if I type inbound up here in the report finder, could take a look at inbound connections. So this is what's coming through the firewall. Look for anything unusual. Well, yes, we've got some activity on port 445, which is unusual. And the option then to drill down. So we can see external IP, what is it connecting to, local server here. And we can take a look at that server and take a look at our firewall and investigate it further. So in summary, it's very easy to find out who are the top users on the network. You can get it in table format or also produce this data using graphics. Other types of issues that this customer was using LAN Guardian for. Well, they wanted to capture traffic to be used as evidence in unacceptable use investigations. maybe to capture traffic to pass on to the security team, maybe capture traffic to process service related issues, or maybe to identify misconfigured applications. So it's very much a security element here to the way they're using the LangGuardian. So now let's go back again and take a look at an example of this. So let's take a look at using LangGuardian for forensics. So I'm logged on here, I'm on the search page, you can access it, click the top left hand side. And we're going to go for the forensic search based on a username because somebody from the security team have asked us to investigate an issue. So they want to know about a user called Wendy on the network and what they're doing. So let's take a look. So I'm going to focus on the last 24 hours, although I can change that as well, just like any LangGuardian report. So this user, we've got some file share traffic, 600 megabytes almost, or over 600 megabytes, some iTunes, some proxy traffic, some web traffic. We can see the websites the user is visiting here, date and times. We can see security events the user is triggering, so they're using BitTorrent. They've also looks like they've got a virus on the machine. They're using Skype. Some issues here also with logging on to SQL servers. Further down, we can see the user has logged on to numerous systems on the network. So they may have mobile devices, laptops, and different things. Over the last 24 hours, they've logged on to numerous systems. You can also see some emails coming from this user that look very much like spam subject lines there. So it's no wonder the security team are interested in this user. On the right hand side, we can also see the user's been accessing some sensitive information on the network. So we've got some spreadsheets here in the finance folder. And if we want to give one of these reports to the security team, it's very simply click the arrow here to get the entire report, go to more actions, and we could then, click on email. Just put in the email address, security team, wherever, subject line message, and that'll send the report to them very simply. So in summary, LangGuardian is an ideal tool if you need something for forensics on your network. You can get reports over short time periods, long time periods, and present them in tabular formats or via using some nice graphics like this here. Other issues that the BBSRC used LangGuardian for is investigating reports from the security team of suspect traffic put in and out. So user details captured by phishing, spoofed DNS traffic, malware on the network, outgoing traffic where ISP may say there's bad activity, that could be like BitTorrent, peer-to-peer, maybe offensive emails received. So if you want an overall, view of how healthy your network is from a security point of view, the LangGuardian is an ideal tool for that. So let's take a look back to the LangGuardian and take a look at an example of this. So I'm going to go to reports and I'm going to go for all events. I want to take a look at all activity on the network. So numerous options here. I'm going to choose the one here by signature. Look at the last 24 hours. So anything unusual happening over the last 24 hours on the network. I'm also going to change this here so we see the full report. So a lot of issues on this particular network. We've got network scans happening. We've got possibly spam. Other things like peer-to-peer running, BitTorrent. All sorts of activity here. So if we need to figure out or drill down and see how bad these problems are, it's very straightforward. So for example, you can pick any of these at random here. So we've got BitTorrent. We can click on the total here to find out the source, who's running this application. So here we have it here, the time it was detected. I can also get the username, actually very easy to do that. So it's Fred and Peter here on the network that are running BitTorrent. And we've also got the info hash, which is very useful because in the case of BitTorrent, it allows us to resolve what they're doing. So in this case, they're downloading Red Hat Enterprise Linux, so that's okay. So if you want a picture of how healthy your network is from a security point of view, again, LangGuardian is an ideal tool. This report here can be set up to be displayed on dashboards. It can be sent as an email report. So when you come in the morning, you can see what's happening on your network. So finally, other issues that the BBSRC used the LangGuardian for. Report to ISP possible DDoS attacks on their subnets. Report from ISP of possible affected machines, traffic on unusual ports, maybe spam. So they're getting requests from their ISP to maybe check out some issues or investigate some problems on their network. It's very easy to do with LandGuardian because of its long life database, its search facility, and the way it can present data both in tabular and graphic format. If you want to learn more about the NetFort LandGuardian, please visit our website at www.netfort.com.